What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for clicking on this video. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you're having a wonderful week. Going into 2025, we know the Colorado Buffs went 9-4, and we're losing a lot of people. Hopefully, we're going to be losing them to the NFL, possibly overseas, wherever they're going. We say congratulations to the former Buffs, Skull Buffs. Now we're into the 2025 schedule. You're looking at the new cats out here. They're doing what they have to do to get into shape, get ready for the season. Now, this season is going to be challenging. We're losing some dogs. Question is, are we getting a lot of dogs back? Are we replacing dogs for dogs? Or are there any meow cats or puppies in there? I don't know. We'll find out. But who has the best schedule? Who has the easiest and the hardest schedule? We're going to find that out in this video right after my intro. Roll it, Harry B. Let's go.
BWB. Bandwagon Buffs.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not waste no time. Let's go ahead and find out who has the strongest schedule and who has the weakest schedule. And where does Colorado fall in all of this? Let's go. All right, this one is from 247Sports.com. Big 12 football schedules 2025, ranking the league's toughest slates next season. Which Big 12 teams have the most difficult schedules in 2025? And this one was written by Cody Nagel. Cody Nagel, what up, my Nagel? What up, Cody? Anyway, it is no secret how unpredictable the Big 12 is on a yearly basis. That opening statement right there is so true. The Big 12 is like the most fun conference. You feel me? I love Big 12 football. Even though we just got here, but Big 12 is just crazy fun, but it's so wide open. It's the most wide open conference there is. On any given year, anybody can take it. That is why forecasting any sort of projections for the upcoming season is so difficult. I feel you guys' pain because I'm going to have to do this real soon where the TLP Sports Club list and top rankings of the Big 12 teams come into play. So that's coming real soon. Y'all got to hold on, okay? As the page turns to the 2025 college football campaign, one of the natural steps is to analyze the schedules, identifying which teams could face the toughest path and which ones have a smoother road to success. While awaiting the full release of projected wins totals for teams in 2025, one way to assess schedule difficulty is looking at how opponents performed in the previous season. That is true. But there are so many components and intricacies that you have to look at, nuances. I keep telling y'all that, things to look at. And I'm going to be digging real deep into those and try to find the low nuggets that I can put together to see how accurate my predictions are going to be. Obviously, given the current landscape of college football, team strength can shift year over year with so much turnover. That is so true. However, past success offers a valuable benchmark to view upcoming opponents. You can look at how they did the year prior, and that should give you some type of indication how they're going to perform the coming year, because teams are not losing everyone, right? They're losing key pieces that were instrumental to their success. But if you are able to recruit, replace some of those key pieces with good production, then you should have a similar year, depending on which way your luck is going to fall. And then other guys that were backups, they're also going to be stepping up. So you should also look forward to that. So which Big 12 football teams face the most challenging schedules in 2025? Below is a closer look at a ranking of the toughest Big 12 football schedules in 2025 based on the 2024 win percentage of the opponents. There's an editor's note here. Okay, who's the editor and what did he have to say? You know what I'm saying? The writers, they write. You know what I'm saying? They do all that work, give it to the editor. He chops it all up, put red mark all over it, and he's like, I don't like this. Take that out. Take that. Keep that. What did he say? The records of FCS opponents are not factored into the overall win percentage, but those games are listed on the 2025 schedules. That's a good point to make. That's a good point, editor. All right, so here we go. There are 16 teams in the Big 12. We're going to take the team with the weakest schedule all the way down to the team with the hardest schedule. All right, so coming in at number 16 is going to be the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and they are rated .460. 2025 opponents are Arizona State, BYU, at Houston, Houston, Kansas at Kansas State, Oklahoma State, UCF at Utah, at West Virginia, Kent State, Oregon State, Arkansas Pine Bluff, that's an FCS team. Everything seems to be aligning for Texas Tech to make a big push in 2025. A favorable schedule is always a key to success, and the Red Raiders are the only Big 12 team whose future opponents had a combined win percentage below 500 in 2024. In fact, only Michigan has a lower mark, .453 heading into next season. However, the combined win percentage of the opponents on the Texas Tech 2025 schedule is skewed by Kent State finishing 0-12 this season. Dang, I didn't even know Kent State finished 0-12. My Lord, hold up. They lost every game? God almighty. For some of y'all who don't know, Kent State is actually the team that Colorado's former OC, offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, he was the head coach. He left Kent State, came over to Colorado to become the OC. Going 0-12 is not a great thing. Boy, who's that coach? You about to get fired, boy. Your job is on the line. All right, our next team is going to be the Baylor Bears. They are rated .507. 2025 opponents are going to be at Arizona State, at Cincinnati, Houston, Kansas State, at Oklahoma State, at TCU, UCF, Utah, Auburn, at SMU, Sanford. Sanford is their FCS opponent that they're going to be playing. So as you guys are listening to this, or as you guys are looking at these teams, which one of these teams do you think is going to be real tough for Baylor, for the Baylor Bears? Baylor did really, really well in the end, even though now they are permanently enshrined into Colorado's history as the Miracle in Boulder. All right, like I said, we're calling that the Miracle in Boulder, okay? Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. Years from now, when they are talking about their NFL history and stuff like that, the Baylor game is going to come up as the Miracle in Boulder. So y'all remember that. The Miracle in Boulder is going to be somewhere on Jeopardy. I don't even know who hosts Jeopardy right now, but that's going to be on some type of game show. What was the game that Colorado determined or called the Miracle in Boulder, and it happened in 2024? You heard what I'm saying? Anyways, let's keep moving on. Baylor will face two opponents next season that made the 2024 college football playoff, Arizona State and SMU. Additionally, it will take on Kent State and TCU, both of which narrowly missed double-digit win seasons. Despite the challenging matchups, Dave Aranda and the Bears could benefit from what might be an overall favorable schedule as they aim to build on the momentum created by the 6-game winning streak to close out the regular season. Remember, guys, these are about win percentages. For anyone that doesn't understand, I know all you football heads, calm down. I know you understand this stuff, but a lot of people around here don't really get what is going on. These are taking your opponents based on their win percentages. We're actually taking these opponents and we are ranking them based on their win percentages in 2024. So that's how we're looking at it. It ain't based on who they're getting. It ain't based on who they're losing. If things was to kind of play out in similar fashion, then you will see which teams are going to be way better or which teams are going to be at top vying for that Big 12 championship at the end of the season. Let's keep it moving. We got 16 teams to go. This is number 14. Let's go. The next team is going to be Kansas Jayhawks. They're rated at .511. Their opponents at Arizona, Cincinnati, Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, at Texas Tech, at UCF, Utah, West Virginia, Fresno State, at Missouri, and Wagner. That's an FCS team. Have the opponents on the schedule in 2025 for Kansas reached a bowl game this season, and another two came up just short with 5 wins. The Week 2 road test at Missouri in a renewed border war rivalry expects to be a challenge for the Jayhawks. The two last met in 2011 before the Tigers jumped to the SEC. That ended a 93-year streak of consecutive meetings between the rivals dating back to 1919. At number 13 is going to be none other than the BYU Cougars, rated at .518. 518, say it with me, come on now, 518, come on, say 5-1. Anyways, 2025 opponents are at Arizona, at Cincinnati, at Colorado, at Iowa State, TCU, at Texas Tech, UCF, Utah, West Virginia, East Carolina, Stanford, and Portland, which is going to be your FCS team. All Colorado fans and any Colorado player, when you get that schedule, you need to circle that BYU game, because if you are now a Colorado player coming from a different place or high school, this is what rivalries are all about. Y'all beat us at a very pivotal point, okay? Y'all beat us and y'all made us look bad because everybody was talking about that. So this is going to be a game that we want to circle to let y'all know what time it this, okay? We didn't appreciate y'all beating us in that bowl game. People saying things about us, you feel me? We know it wasn't that important. It was a meaningless bowl game, but the world was watching and y'all made us look bad because the way y'all beat us was not appreciative, okay? Anyway, so mark that game down. BYU is a must-win game. BYU benefited from a fair share of good fortune during its 11-win campaign in 2024, but can the Cougars sustain that success in 2025? The schedule provides a solid opportunity, though it won't come without challenges. Tough road trips, including a visit to 2024 Big 12 runner-up Iowa State, represents one. Head coach Kalani Siddiq thus returned an experienced group that lost just one road game this past season, a 28-23 loss to Big 12 champion Arizona State. Okay, so they're returning a really good group. Okay, see what I'm saying? You got to read between the lines. They're going to be returning a lot of their players, and their players were pretty good. They didn't have no superstars, but again, if you're playing solid group football, you don't necessarily need to have any superheroes because you know everybody's locked in. We all have the same vision. We're all locked in, and we're all gunning for just one thing, championship, or just winning one game at a time. You put your head down, you work, and good results will come. You feel me? It's like having a YouTube channel. Some days you may not want to do videos like these. You may be under the weather, but you know you got to get up. You got to get to work. You feel me? So hit that subscribe button. Come on, man. Help a brother out. I'm coughing. I'm drinking water. I'm trying my best. I'm reading. I'm like, dang, I don't want to do this. Come on, man. But you know you got to do it because that's what it takes to be successful. You feel me? Anyways, stop trying to get those sympathy subscribers. Can I just get one? At least one? All right, so there is no number 12. This one is tied for number 11. All right, we got Arizona State Sun Devils at point 529. 529. Let's get it. Let's go. 529. 2025 opponents are going to be Arizona at BYU, at Colorado, Houston, at Iowa State, TCU, Texas Tech, at Utah, West Virginia, at Mississippi State, Texas State, Northern Arizona. That's going to be your FCS team. Arizona State showed in 2024 how unpredictable the Big 12 can be. Projected to face one of the toughest schedules as a new conference member, the Sun Devils benefited from a more manageable slate on the way to a Big 12 title and a college football playoff berth. The 2025 season presents a tougher challenge, with Arizona State entering as the team to beat in the conference. Everybody gonna be gunning for y'all, Kenny Dillingham. You see that young face right there? Put that in the comments. How well you think they're gonna do? They're tied for number 11, right? How well do you think they're gonna do without Cam Scatterboot? Their running back, their general, the guy with the look. That's what I'm gonna call him now. The guy with that face, that smirk, that look that says, I'm a killer, son, and that's what I do. I kills competitions. That's right. Step in the way and I'm gonna knock you over. I gotta watch for that guy because he have a little tick in his head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got a little tick in his neck. I've been watching that real closely. I'm like, I hope that ain't no sign of CTE. You feel me? Because after every run, if you look closely, Cam Scatterboot got this little tick in his neck like he's like a bobblehead or something. Man, I watched that CTE documentary and that's looking like, son, I hope he's all right. You feel me? Because when you play as hard as Cam Scatterboot plays, you try to run people over all the time. You like a headhunter. No Diddy, right? Like if you a headhunter, like you always trying to knock people over, that thing can wear you down over time. Watch closely with Cam Scatterboot. You feel me? All right, so tied with the Arizona State Sun Devils for the number 11 spot is going to be UCF Knights. They are rated just like the Sun Devils at .52 529. Their opponents are going to be Baylor Bears, BYU at Cincinnati, Houston, Kansas at Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Jacksonville State, North Carolina A&T. Okay, that's the school my mom went to, FCS. You know what I'm saying? You want to say Aggie Pride. Aggie Pride. Come on now. All right, what you got to say about them? Welcome back to UCF Scott Frost. The new staff faces a significant challenge as they work to awaken a potential sleeping giant in the Sunshine State. The non-conference clash with North Carolina and six-time Super Bowl winning head coach Bill Belichick adds intrigue to the schedule, but it is just the beginning of what could be a daunting Big 12 schedule. Road games at Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, Kansas State, and Texas Tech will test the Knights' mettle. To stay competitive, UCF must protect home turf at the bounce house. If that house don't bounce right, man, it'll bounce them right out of the Big 12 championship. All right, so we got a couple of ties here because Oklahoma State Cowboys are tied for number 9, so we don't have no number 10. Their rating is at .532. The Oklahoma State Cowboys 2025 opponents is going to be at Arizona, Baylor, Cincinnati, Houston, Iowa State, at Kansas State, at Texas Tech, at UCF, at Oregon, Tulsa, UT Martin, which is their FCS opponents. Oh, I hope y'all beat Oregon. I sure hope y'all beat Oregon and beat them bad. Beat them bad. Good God almighty, I hope y'all beat them bad. Okay, calm down, Harry. Why you hate Oregon so much? I have no idea. I just hate them. I just hate them. Oklahoma State is in need of a rebound in 2025, but the road to recovery could start uneven footing with a week 2 trip to Oregon. Come on now. Mike Gundy has historically performed well against non-Big 12 Power Conference opponents, holding an impressive 23-9 record in regular season and bowl games. However, the Cowboys hit rock bottom last season, going winless in conference play for the first time in 30 years. The bar for improvement is set low. I don't care who else y'all beat, just beat Oregon. I'll be happy with y'all, Oklahoma State. Let's go. Tied at number 9 with Oklahoma State Cowboys is going to be Cincinnati Bearcats at 532. Yeah, feel me? That's .532. The Cincinnati Bearcats opponents in 2025 is Arizona, Baylor, BYU, Iowa State, at Kansas, at Oklahoma State, at TCU, at UCF, at Utah, Bowling Green, Nebraska, Northwestern State. That's going to be their FCS opponent. Cincinnati kicks off the 2025 season against Nebraska at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, a venue change from the originally scheduled game in Indianapolis, where a more balanced crowd was anticipated. The Bearcats face 6 opponents that reached a bowl game last season, with their 2 toughest matchups, BYU and Iowa State, taking place at home in Neppert Stadium. All right, so listen, Cincinnati, only team I want y'all to beat is Nebraska. Obviously, you feel me? As a Colorado fan, please just beat Nebraska, and I'll be fine with y'all, okay? If y'all don't beat nobody else, beat Nebraska. You feel what I'm saying? Coming in at number 8 is going to be the Houston Cougars at .553. The Houston Cougars 2025 opponents is going to be Arizona, at Arizona State, at Baylor, Colorado, at Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, at UCF, West Virginia, at Rice, at Oregon State, Stephen F. Austin. That's going to be their FCS opponent. Houston continues its rebuilding phase under coach Willie Fritz in 2025 with a schedule that should present at least a handful of challenges. The Cougars are set to face 6 teams that won at least 8 games this past season, including a visit to reigning Big 12 champion Arizona State. The Week 4 non-conference trip up to Oregon State is not one to overlook either. I heard that. That's for sure. Guys, hang in there. We're almost done. Please hang in there, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I hope this information is very valuable to you guys. Read between the lines. Hear what I'm saying. You're getting a lot of information. This is what I call data, baby. This is real data. Coming in at number 7 is going to be Kansas State. The Wildcats at .557. Say it with me. 557. Put that in the comments, baby. The Kansas State Wildcats 2025 opponents at Arizona, at Baylor, Colorado, Iowa State, at Kansas, at Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, UCF, at Utah, Army, North Dakota. That's their FCS opponent. You don't want to mess with those North Dakota teams, that's for sure. Kansas State will kick off the 2025 college football season in Dublin against Iowa State as Farmageddon gets an Irish spin. A non-conference showdown with Army is always difficult given the unique style of play. One of the 7 Big 12 teams that finished ahead of the Wildcats in 2024, 5 of those are on the schedule for next season. K-State, man, y'all with y'all running backs, y'all make me sick, man. All we had to do was just beat K-State, you feel me? Beat K-State and we good to go, baby. Nope, they beat us. Okay, it's all good. Colorado is coming in at number 6, and they are rated at .567. Say it with me. 5, 6, 7, let's go. 5, 5, 6, 7, let's go. The Colorado Buffaloes 2025 opponent opponents: Arizona, Arizona State, BYU, at Houston, Iowa State, at Kansas State, at TCU, at Utah, at West Virginia, Georgia Tech, Wyoming, Delaware, FCS team. Expectations should be measured for Colorado in 2025. Don't know what that means, because I think expectations should be measured for everybody, but I'm getting a hint at what you're trying to do there, my guy. The Buffaloes lose two cornerstone players in Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and quarterback Shedeur Sanders, creating significant holes to fill. Adding to the challenge, the Colorado schedule is daunting, featuring 5 opponents that won at least 9 games in 2024. Say that again. 5 opponents that won at least 9 games in 2024, including Big 12 heavyweights Arizona State, BYU, and Iowa State, all of whom finished with 11 victories. Deion Sanders faces an uphill battle navigating such a tough slate. That's how you look at these things. You feel me? If you're looking at it from a win percentage, if they are able to produce what they produced in 2024, then that means that this is a daunting schedule. And we are ranked at number 6. We have the number 6 toughest schedule in the Big 12. This is good information, man. 247Sports, man, I appreciate the information. This is good stuff. Ranked a little higher than Colorado is going to be number 5, Utah Utes at 5-7-1. Say it one more time. No, I'm not. The Utah Utes 2025 opponents is going to be Arizona State, at Baylor, at BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, at Kansas, Kansas State, Texas Tech, at West Virginia, at UCLA, at Wyoming, and at Cal Poly. Utah opens the 2025 season with 2 of its 3 non-conference games away from Salt Lake City before diving into a Big 12 schedule that will be difficult. Arizona State and BYU both expect to contend for a conference title next season, while Baylor, Kansas State, and Texas Tech are in that top half tier as well. The Utes are hopeful their improvements to the coaching staff and roster pay off following a disappointing 2024 campaign. Yeah, man, because they are supposed to be one of the teams that everybody should be afraid of. But this year, boy, they were not that scary. The big scary guys were not that scary. Your Utes were not youthful. Get it? Youthful? Like youthful? Never mind. Coming in at number 4 is going to be the Arizona Wildcats. They are rated and ranked at .579. The Arizona Wildcats 2025 opponents are at Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, at Cincinnati, at Colorado, at Houston, at Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Hawaii, Weber State. What they got to say about them? Optimism is hard to come by for Arizona heading into 2025. The Wildcats stumbled significantly in year 1 under coach Brent Brennan while adjusting to life in the Big 12. The schedule next season does not offer much relief either. Once again, Arizona faces what is essentially an extra conference game, as the second leg of a home-and-home with Kansas State will not count toward the Big 12 standings. That matchup is just one of 6 games against opponents that won at least 8 games in 2024, making the road ahead even more challenging. Moving right along, we're almost done, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there. We are at number 3. If you are still watching, listening, and you made it this far, put it in the comments. Say, Harry B, I'm still with you, my guy. Let's go. Number 3 is going to be the Iowa State Cyclones, rated at .586. The Iowa State Cyclones 2025 opponents: Arizona, Arizona State, BYU, at Cincinnati, at Colorado, Kansas, Kansas State, at Oklahoma State, at TCU, at Arkansas State, Iowa, South Dakota. Oh yeah, South Dakota ain't nothing to play with. You feel me? Y'all should know that by now. You feel me? Them Dakotas? Woo! Iowa State travels across the pond to Dublin to face rival Kansas State in the 2025 season opener, then heads back home to Ames to prep for FCS semifinalist South Dakota the following Saturday before another rivalry game against Iowa the first weekend of September. Certainly less than ideal for this past season's Big 12 runner-up. I know what you talking about. We don't want that kind of smoke. You feel me? Hey guys, we are at number 2. That's going to be West Virginia Mountaineers. Man, what did it do to deserve all this heat? They're going to be getting rated at .59. The West Virginia Mountaineers 2025 opponents: at Arizona State, at BYU, Colorado, at Houston, at Kansas State, TCU, Texas Tech, at UCLA, UCF, Utah, at Ohio, Pittsburgh, Robert Morris. Rich Rodriguez got a warm welcome back to West Virginia in his return as head coach, but the schedule makers did not do him many favors. The Mountaineers draw 6 opponents that won at least 8 games this past season, including a trio of 11-win teams, Arizona State, BYU, and non-conference foe, Ohio. Say that twice and backwards. I mean, like, turn around and say, like, Ohio. And and finally, our toughest schedule in the Big 12 out of 16 teams is going to be none other than the TCU Horned Frogs. And that frog is not a frog, it's a lizard. That hunchback that looks like a frog, it's a lizard, guys. They're frauds. Get it? They're not frogs. They're frauds. I'm sorry, TCU fans. I like your coach, okay? TCU Horned Frogs are rated at .632. The TCU Horned Frogs 2025 opponents at Arizona State, Baylor, at BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, at Houston, Iowa State, at Kansas State, at West Virginia, at North Carolina, SMU, Abilene Christian. You feel me? Texas got a lot of Christian schools. You feel what I'm saying? TCU faces one of the most challenging schedules in 2025, ranking as the toughest in the Big 12 based on opponent win percentages from 2024 and among the hardest for all power conference teams. Only 6 programs encounter a more difficult slate when basing it off that factor. 4 teams on the TCU schedule, Arizona State, BYU, Iowa State, and SMU, each finished with 11 wins last season. Yo, this is dope information, man. I hope this video was helpful to a lot of y'all guys, because at the end of the day, it gave us information that we can look forward to. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of insight and a little bit of the reason why I like using the writers' information. The writers have a research database. They have information that we are not privy to. You know how you ask, you say, hey, did you watch tape? How do you know this person is going to be impactful? How do you know this person is going to do what is said on paper? Well, guess who knows that information? Because they have to know it's their job. You know what? It's the writers. The writers have to know this information, whether it comes from them watching actual tape or it actually comes from them reviewing these players, talking to the players themselves, interviewing the players, spending time with the players. They are in these press conferences. They are in these rooms. They are the one that's keeping the data. They're crunching data all day. So that's why I like using writers' information, because the information that I can't gather, that I can't find nowhere else, I know that the writers in their writing databases have all of this information. It saves me a whole lot of research time and a whole lot of time. I'm just trying to give some insight to let you know what I use to evaluate these players. I look to the writers because they spend so much time with each player and with each team to make sure that they're please don't fart. Man, if he farts, it's over. But anyways, if you're just listening to the audio and not watching the video, the team is actually doing these military drills and somebody's face was right on somebody's butt. But anyways, so I was like, Lord, if he farts, it's over. Truth be told, it's real difficult to watch tape on all of these players. But guess who knows the information? These writers. It is their job to keep up with each team and to make sure that they get the data right, because their credibility is dependent upon it, how accurate your information is. So that's why I lean on these guys, and that's why I thought this information was dope to bring to the constituents. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, man, hit that subscribe button. Help your brother out. You feel me? I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'll see you. Get it? See you? You know? See you on the next video. Okay.